Welcome to Serious Software's e-commerce training series. In this video, we will be covering logging into your storefront. There are two ways to create user accounts for your storefront. The first option is through your control CRM, and the second option is through the public sign-up creation on the storefront. For any internal accounts or accounts that need to be mapped to specific customers or companies inside of your database, it is recommended that you create your logins through control. We would do this by using our Explorer and going to Explore Companies, or potentially Explore Contacts if you're looking for a specific person. I'm going to use Test Company in today's example, so I will open up Test Company. Make sure you're editing on your right-hand toolbar, and we're going to come to the Contacts tab. Once in the Contacts tab, we're going to click Add New Contact, or if this was editing an existing contact, you can highlight that contact on your screen. You'll enter the customer's information. The three fields required on the General tab is their first, last name, and then their email address. It's highly important that their email address be unique and only used once inside of your control environment. If you feel like their email address has been used more than once, you might ask them to specify what account inside your database should be active and see if you can take the email address off any other accounts, or if they have another email address they would like to register through the website. In the case of internal accounts, email addresses or employees of your business, you do want to check that their employee record is also not using this email address, or as I'm using here on the screen, make sure you use an alias, which is a plus sign and some text, a word behind their name. So you might use this as plus e-commerce or plus customer, maybe even the storefront name in there. Most email services are now supporting aliases. If you are not sure if your email services support aliases, please contact your email provider or your IT person inside your business to see if that's an option for you. Once we filled in our email address, we're going to come to the Sirius Connector Login tab. And we're going to check the box for Enable User Login for Sirius Cloud and Apps and WebView. You'll see that the login is pulled in from the email address. That's why the email has to be unique inside your system so that it only finds one entry for that email. Then you'll provide a password. Usually I would say this is like a temporary password or a default password that you're creating for the person. They can reset their password through the storefront if need be later. One thing to note though, the message on the screen is not valid for e-commerce customers. The password must be 8 characters and alphanumeric, so at least one capital letter and one number inside their email address. Inside their password. Once you've created their password, you can click Save. Then my recommendation is to take that username and password to their storefront. Once on the customer's storefront, you'll come to the login screen here at the top, or the link at the top, which will load to the login screen. Now, for some customers, depending on your storefront configuration, this might be your landing page, it might be your home page. But what you'll do is you'll enter their email address here and log them in for the first time. Basically just verifying that the account is going to work and that they are set up on the correct storefront. So once we log into our account, this user will be registered for e-commerce use. Then at this point you can send them an email with their username and password and have them reset it if they'd like. You can also look at your account information, your order history, if you want to change or set your address information available here as well. The second way to register a user online, not so much for internal users or test accounts, but once you've launched the website, if you're allowing the public sign up option, you can set up an account here under new user. It's going to ask for your email address, the company name, first and last name, and then for a password. The same rules apply here. It is going to have a conflict if their email address already exists in your database. And you do want to you do want to encourage them to be careful how they're naming the company. The company name is going to look for an exact match inside your control system for what they type in this box, and try to attach their contact record to it. If it cannot make a match, maybe they've abbreviated the name or added some extra spacing or called it something slightly different than what you called it in control, it's going to create a new company record inside of your control environment. You may be okay with that and have that might be okay for you, or you might have to periodically merge those accounts together to make sure that all your billing information is under the correct user inside of control. The other step to be aware of around contacts is actually on your admin panel. If you hadn't signed in this user for them, or they haven't registered directly from the storefront, or maybe you have a district person who needs to have access to multiple storefronts. If we come to our admin panel, come down to customers, and then go into contacts, there is an option here to allow what storefronts the customer has access to. So if we scroll to the bottom of my contact record, you'll see these power buttons next to each of my storefronts. So right now I have access to all three, but I could restrict access and say that I should only have access to Sirius instead. If you're having any issues creating logins to the storefront, please let us know by either submitting a support request here under your help menu, emailing us at ecommerce@sirius.com, or joining us on the Q&A session. Thank you for joining us today, and have a great day.